All right, so problem 8. You owe $1,500 on your credit card, which charges 18% interest. How much are your payments if you wish to pay it off in 4 years of monthly payments?
The PV.
So the monthly payments, so that clues us in, it's one of these, right?
Yeah.
We are paying off a debt.
Present value.
Present value, that's the formula we're gonna use. Now, I owe $1,500. What is the $1,500? That's PV, that's the value.
Yeah.
That's the value of the loan right now. That is PV. How much are the payments? So this is another one where I don't know that number, right? That's what I'm looking for, okay? So I've got all this stuff, 1 minus 1 plus. My interest rate is 18%, which, by the way, is pretty typical for credit cards. Sometimes it's even higher than that. Don't use credit cards unless you pay it off every month. 18% over monthly payments, 12. What's my exponent going to be? Negative 48. Why is it 48? 12 times 4, very good. All right, so check that out. Does that look okay to everybody? So now we gotta type it in. You guys talking about math back then? My monthly payments are $44.06. Tell me if anybody gets that. I'd love to have some confirmation on that. This part for me turned out to be 34 point something. Anybody else get 44 yet? Okay, type 1 minus 1.015 to the negative 48 equals, divided by 0.015 equals 1,500 divided by second negative sign, second answer equals, and it should come out to be that. I need somebody to get that, so I know
I got 49. You did. I got 30.
Okay, this is 34.
Oh, okay. And then you.
So then you got to do 1,500 divided by second answer. And there you go. Yeah, you're finding R. You're finding R. So you got to get that divided over.
Wait, how do you get the answer thing down there again?
Second negative. It says answer right above it. Okay, one more.
Same thing as yours.
Here we go.
Means you know better.
If you save $75 per month in your retirement fund and it pays 4.8% interest, how much will the fund be worth in 30 years? Okay, we're making payments. You save $75 per month. So you're putting in $75 every month. Saving for your future. So we want to know, what is the future value? This is what we're looking for. We know the payment is $75. And we know the interest rate is 0.048. And we're making these payments monthly. And we're doing it for 30 years. So what will be my exponent? I'm making monthly payments for 30 years. 360, yeah. Okay, so if you have not been getting these answers right, I want you to stop whatever you're doing and I want you to type exactly what I tell you to type. Not one extra thing, not one less thing. Type exactly what I tell you to type. 1 plus 0.048 divided by 12 equals. And that gives me 1.004. So I just figured out that this right here is 1.004. Which means that this is 0.004. Okay? Now, type 1.004 raised to the 360th power minus 1 equals divided by 0.004. And this came out to be 800 and something?
892.
Yep. Now, we don't have to divide it this time. We're just going to multiply it by 75. So times 75. And she's going to have $60,161.06. So by just saving $75 a month, now 30 years is a long time, but by doing that regularly, she's ending up with that much money. It's pretty good. Now, these last two sections are not really problems, they're just practice typing stuff in on the calculator. So, for problem 10a, where it says 3 plus log 2, you literally type 3 plus log 2. And the answer is 3.30. That's it. Now the next one, we probably need a little bit of background note here. The next one uses the symbol LN. That's not a 1N, that's an LN. Do you remember that from last year? Yeah. LN is what we call a natural logarithm. LOG is what we call a common logarithm. And all of our problems have been done with common logs because their base, you don't see it, it's not written there, but it's understood to be a 10. Our number system is base 10. We have 10 digits, 0 through 9. So all calculating is done using common logarithms. It makes sense, our number system. LNs are log base E's. E is a number like pi. Pi, remember, is the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter. It's a constant, 3.14159, right? E is the same kind of number. It is a naturally occurring constant. It's called Euler's constant. Looks like Euler, but it's Euler's constant. And you have it on your calculator. So if you look at the LN button, can you find the LN button on your calculator? See what's right above it? Well, no, what's in blue right above it, or green or whatever, e to the x. So if you type 7 LN, that puts E on your screen, right? That's how you get E, if you need it. Type 1 and equals, and it's 2.718. That's E. My pi is 3.14, this is 2.718. It's the base of the natural logarithms. So, That's just the extra information. You want 4 minus ln 8, you just type 4 minus ln 8. 1.92. 0.5 plus ln 0.8. 0.2768, so about 0.28. Everybody doing okay? Now what about these next ones though? This is a little bit tricky. Log x equals 2.8. It's backwards. They're telling me what the logarithm equals, but they're not telling me what a number is. The log of x equals 2.8. Any ideas how we might do that? It's backwards. No, that's a good guess, but no. Type second log 2.8. You want to go backwards. So instead of using log, you're going to use second log. It's like back when we had things like sine x equals 0.51. To get x, we had to do second sine. Remember that? Whenever you have the x after the function, you have to do a second. So if the x is after the function, we have to do second. So second log 2.8, and you should get 630.96. Whenever the x is after the log, right after the log, or right after the tangent, or right after whatever, you have to do second. To get to it, you have to do second. So, how will I do B? Second ln 1.6. 4.95? Now, be careful on the next one. I mean, it's not hard, but be careful. What do you have to do first?
You have to put the 4 in front of it, then second.
No,
I mean,
no,
but you do second log.
no.
You have to move the log over.
Divide by 4. First thing we have to do is divide by 4. So 9.1 divided by 4. Kids, it's like a regular equation. The first thing you're going to do is divide by 4. Then 2.275. Yep. Then since the x is after the log here, we'll have to do second log. That number? 188.36. So first thing we got to do is divide by 4. And then second log that number that we get when we divide by 4. All right. We need to get through at least one of these problems, maybe 2. I'm going to do the circled ones. But here we go. Recap of a whole bunch of stuff. These things are all mixed up. We got to try to keep it all straight. Here is my sequence. It's geometric, which means I'm getting from term to term by multiplying. The very first question says, what are we multiplying by? What? 2.5. Now, how did you get that? What? Okay, she did 5 divided by 2. If you want to know what to take times 2 to get 5, wouldn't you just divide? And that gives us a ratio of 2.5. What's the 8th term? How do we find the 8th term? We take the first one times the ratio to the 7. And that will be something with a decimal. 1220.70. Is that right? Find the sum of the first 8 terms. The sum of the first 8.
Oh, that's gonna be 2
You got
minus
your note
2,
card, right?
2.5.
So 2 minus 2,
2.5
2.5 to the 8th, yep.
over
Over 1 minus 2, 0.5. 1 minus 2.5. Are you finding that the more of these you do, you kind of are getting the formulas memorized a little bit anyway? Not these big, huge new ones we learned, but the other ones, you're kind of, after we use them a lot?
Yeah.
All right, so my denominator is negative 1.5. I always want to make sure I simplify that separately. My total answer, I got 2033.17. Is that right? That isn't my numerator, that's my final answer. Okay, one more, and I promise I'll just stop and let you go. One more. Saul bought a new bike. Now, these came out of the IB book, and they use some foreign notation and stuff, so don't panic. Saul bought a new bicycle for $350. Every year, the value of the bicycle decreased by 12%. Decreased. Find the value of the bicycle at the end of 5 years. Okay? All right. Tell me what to do. Some of you are already typing away. What are you typing? $350 times what? 0.88. That's exactly right. And how did we get 0.88? 1 minus 12%, or 1 minus 0.12.
To the 4th.
And we're taking it to the 4th because why?
For 5 years.
One less, yep. And there you go. So your answer is 350.88 to the 4th. Get $209.89. All right, well, I'm going to keep my word and let you go. I will see you tomorrow for more fun and excitement.
Yes.